Money, 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 money. Everybody needs money. I need money. You need money. America needs money. The taxpayers need money. The poor and the homeless need money. I don't think you realize how serious money issues can alter your thinking, can wreck your health through stress and worry. Money, man. Luckily, the Bible's in effect. You know, the Most High says, I believe it's Matthew 6, that, you know, focus on the kingdom of heaven, man, and the Most High's got you. But at the same time, these devils, they're stealing money hand over fist while people are homeless. And that's becoming an issue, especially in California and various parts of the country. That's becoming an issue all over the country. Meanwhile, these devils, they just giving money to the Ukraine. They're giving money to Israel. They stuff in their pockets. They want to raise the age of retirement to 70, or at least it's on the table. These guys are terrible, man. These guys are terrible. But look at this. I mean, look at this crap, man.
Has also issued an urgent plea to Congress warning that Ukraine's forces are running out of time and money. Senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott is tracking that story. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning. And this is an urgent and blunt message from the White House to congressional leaders warning they are out of money and nearly out of time to provide additional.
They supposed to close down the country or have this shut down this Saturday, I believe, if they can't come up with a solution. But this is all just a bunch of BS. An urgent warning. What's happening in the Ukraine has nothing to do with America. And first, you're supposed to take care of your children first. In other words, the citizens, they're supposed to be taken care of first. But these guys are sending billions to the Ukraine. Millions and millions and millions of dollars to Israel. I mean, where is this going to take us? I'm going to tell you where it's going to take us. It's going to take us straight to hell. Straight to hell. And it's long overdue. It's very well long overdue. Not that I don't appreciate the prophecies and the judgment of the Most High, but we need some more fire in this country to wake people up.
Aid to Ukraine. But right now, there is no clear path forward, and the pressure is on. In just a few hours, Ukrainian President Zelensky will address senators virtually behind closed doors. He will make yet another personal plea for more support. But lawmakers have been at a stalemate.
You know, they can't account for where this money is going. They can't give it a distinct assessment or a direct account or accounting of where this money is going. Taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money. They can't produce a really legitimate proof of where this money is going. Factual proof of where this money is going. Check it out.
Additional aid to Ukraine. But right now, there is no clear path forward, and the pressure is on. In just a few hours, Ukrainian President Zelensky will address senators virtually behind closed doors. He will make yet another personal plea for more support. But lawmakers have been at a stalemate here for weeks. Republicans say they will not provide additional aid to Ukraine unless Democrats agree to crack down on the border.
Oh, and the border. Did you see what's happening at the border is getting worse, man. They got dudes sleeping in police stations. They got people in basements. Oh, it's terrible. But they keep bringing them in. They keep bringing them in.
And talks on that issue are not going well. Senate negotiations over a possible border package suddenly broke down over the weekend. House Speaker Mike Johnson is now accusing the Biden administration of failing to address their concerns about strategy and accountability for Ukraine. Both sides are still at the table, but the White House here is clearly worried that these negotiations are going to drag on for far too long. They insist that any delay in funding would kneecap Ukraine on the battlefield. They say this is not a problem for next year, that Congress must act now, Michael.
Yeah, a lot of problems there, Rachel.
What a big joke, man. But listen, man, like I said, they're spending so much money abroad. They're spending money in the, on their personal usage. They're just stealing money hand over fist. And meanwhile, things are breaking down. Look, on a frigid night, do I let the homeless patients keep an ER bed or free it up for someone who may need it? This is how bad this country is getting, man. That the hospitals are just overwhelmed. with the homeless and the crazy people running the streets, man. This dude that was stabbing people up in Queens, New York. They finally caught this dude. They finally caught this dude, man. Man arrested in a series of stabbings, police says. Look at this. The New York City police have arrested a hospital worker from Queens, a hospital worker at that. After a series of recent stabbings, officials have announced Thursday. They caught his ass yesterday. But you got sick people who are running the streets and they can't be properly treated or taken care of. Then you have cops who are unprepared or don't know how to deal with the situation, and they shoot these people. I mean, everything is just directed at a downfall or just tragedy. But then again, it's the Most High's prophecies. You can't get away around the fact that the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he's judging America. He's judging this world. And he's showing that the powers that be, the people who claim to have the power, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what the hell they're doing. NYPD Commissioner Edward Cabin described the 6 attacks over the past 10 days, none of which were fatal, as random, unmotivated violence at a news conference. In other words, he was a nut. He was a nut. Jermaine Roger, 27 years old, a city old greeter at a city hospital, was arrested on charges of attempted murder in connection with three of the cases, an assault in a fourth, all in Queens. Police said Thursday morning they were all still preparing charges in 2 other attacks, one in Queens and another in a subway in Brooklyn. You gotta be careful when you're in the streets. I tell you brothers every week, man, just try to stay in the house if you don't have to go out in the streets, man. Police released surveillance video they say shows Roger holding a large hunting knife he allegedly used in at least one attack. You got to be careful out here, man, because the people, I told you this a few weeks ago, the people who look angry and might come at you head on, these people are mentally unstable. They're mentally unstable. You got to be very careful out there, man. Against backdrop of mental health care shortage, emergency room doctors are overwhelmed. Emergency room doctors are overwhelmed. This is how crazy it is getting. But yet they're sending money to where? The Ukraine. Your taxpayers' money that could be taking care of these issues. It's so bad that the homeless are flooding the hospitals to stay in beds. And we've been having frigid Arctic weather the last couple of days. It's snowing now. Snowing like hell in Philadelphia, snowing in Manhattan as I speak. Yeah. A 9-year-old boy lives 4 weeks in a hospital emergency room dressed in paper scrubs because his parents couldn't handle him, and the state social services agency had nowhere to place him. Check that out. A 14-year-old spent more than 4 weeks. Let me get this out of the way. More than 4 weeks in an emergency room in a community with no bed for a teen with mental health needs. See, they got a lot of mentally disturbed people running these streets in families. You see it every day. You put on the news and someone just kills everybody in the house and himself, or the cops come and shoot that person that was killing everybody in the house. This is how serious these things are getting, man. And this has been happening for years. It's just that ever since COVID, people are really spazzing out, man. The 2 boys are among more than 140 examples described by emergency room doctors who are calling attention to two crisis levels of patients lingering in hospitals, emergency rooms with mental health or other medical care needs as they wait to be admitted to hospitals or other settings. You think this is a joke? You think this is a joke? It's not a damn joke, man. The American College of Emergency Physicians, Emergency Nurses Association, and National Alliance of Mental Illness said Wednesday legislatives and regulatory fixes are needed to reduce boarding which occurs when patients are stuck in emergency rooms as they wait for bed spacing in hospital wings or transfers to psychiatric hospitals or nursing homes. I guess Bellevue on 23rd Street is just overwhelmed in New York. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely bananas. But they're fighting on should they close the border, which is costing the country millions of dollars, causing certain cities millions of dollars, and they can't afford to float their cities financially. And they're reaching out to the federal government for funding, and the federal government is turning their back on these cities like New York and Chicago. They're not being federally supported by the federal government, and they're overwhelmed. It is greatly overwhelmed. You got the nerve to shadow ban and come at brothers and sisters who put up stories like this, but entwine the word and the judgment of the Most High, that entwine who and what nationality of people are responsible mainly for this. So you shadow ban and you flag and you give brothers and sisters a hard time when they report on things such as legal abortion, child tampering, if you know what I mean. Trying to leave out the M word. And these crooks and criminals who are really running this country. It's crazy. The hospitals are just overwhelmed and crazy. Patients of color, meaning so-called blacks and Hispanics, more often brace for unfair treatment in healthcare, survey finds. Same thing, another hospital story. A trip to the doctor's office comes with a bit of preparation for most, maybe even an intern pep talk to prepare for being told to get more exercise or calm a simmering fear of needles. But dressing well in hope of warding off unfair treatment or even bracing for being insulted. This is what's happening in the hospital. People are dressing or getting dressed to impress just to see the doctor. And I understand what's going on. You know what it is? You got the ninjas and the sickles in there that are being mistreated by overwhelmed healthcare workers. So if you go to the hospital and you're a decent person and you don't have any health issues, you don't want to be confused with the undesirables, the people who have a colorful nature. You don't want to be associated with those same people. You want better treatment. This is a goddamn shame. And I've seen this in the hospital. Some hospitals, they treat you like crap, like Kings County. Or what's the one on going in to Brownsville, East New York? Can't remember. It'll come to me in a little while. But these things you have going on. Kings County's a lot better than it was in the 80s, though. I gotta admit that. It's a lot better. You know. Brookdale. The other one is Brookdale on Pennsylvania Avenue. A newly released poll by KFE, a health policy research group, found many patients of color, including 3 and 5 black respondents, take such steps at least some of the time when seeing a doctor. Shouldn't be this way. But listen, everything is going to damn SH in hell, man. The poll found that 55% of black respondents said they feel like they must be very careful about their appearance to be treated fairly at medical visits. In other words, they have to carry themselves a certain way and dress a certain way. That's similar to the rate of Hispanics and Alaskan Native patients. That's strange. That's similar to the rate of Hispanics, Alaskan Native patients, and nearly double the rate for white patients. That's strange. Wonder why they threw Hispanics and natives in there. But overall, you get it, man. You get it. They you get what's going on. All this money is going to the Ukraine and certain groups like the so-called J people, the small hats. and ain't jack SH going to you, blacks and Hispanics. But it's not just affecting you. It's affecting all races now, because the system is crumbling right before your eyes.
It has also issued an urgent plea to Congress warning that Ukraine's forces are running out of time and money.
See, now they're running out of time and money. So the government that doesn't have these funds for cities such as New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore, they don't have money for them, but they're trying to scramble up money, which they already have, for the Ukraine. Ukraine is running out. They'll get that money for them. Hey, but that's just me. That's just something I've noticed. Feel free to comment, like, share, respond. I'm just saying. I'm out.